All right, my name is Steven, and I'm going to be presenting on the southern rockhopper penguin. So, a quick overview, the Latin name is Eudyptes chrysocome, and the overall look of the penguin is a small black and white penguin, about what you would expect from any ordinary penguin. But they also have these kind of red eyes, and then this spiky hair that goes back, and it's kind of black in the middle, and then yellow kind of pointing out on the sides. And the term southern is used to identify it because they're most commonly located in the southern portion of the world, including Antarctica as well as South America, only on the southern tip. And then they are also called rock hoppers because of their ability to quickly traverse over rocky hills and cliffs. And this helps them because they usually like to reside in kind of rocky terrain and rocky beaches. So this lets them just be able to traverse that terrain easily. And these penguins are not in danger, but they are threatened, and this is mainly due to climate change. And throughout the past 3 to 4 decades, we've seen their population decrease by 35%. So for the behavioral ecosystem, we can see that these penguins are actually the most aggressive penguins. And when looking at this kind of ecosystem, we're looking at the effect and ability to interact with other organisms as well as their environment. So whenever they feel like their territory is being attacked, they get very aggressive and they will protect this territory at all costs against other organisms. So this is kind of how that ecosystem plays out, and they will utilize their environment as places to nest, and they will often nest in kind of these rocky areas, like I said. So in this picture, you can see that it's kind of a rocky beach that they like to reside in. So for the population ecology, we're looking at how the same species is interacting with each other. So they are actually very social creatures. As you can see in this picture, they like to be kind of in packs. And so this is how they'll travel around, and this benefits them because within one small population, they can have more reproduction, and then that will increase the number of penguins in that population. And they are also monogamous, which means that they will essentially find one partner to mate with, and then they'll stay with that partner for mating seasons after that. So they don't really like switch off after each mating season. And the mother will lay two eggs, but the first egg usually gets lost. The first egg is actually going to be smaller than the second. So that first egg is not as easy to raise, and so they'll kind of place their priority on the second egg. And the mother will lay that egg, and the father will keep that egg warm. And then for community ecology, we're kind of looking at how different populations and predators are interacting. So penguins themselves are predators, but they also have predators that are going after them. So some of the main predators that we see are the seals, sea lions, and killer whales. So as you can see in this picture, we have the predator as well as the penguins, and these penguins aren't actually the southern rockhopper ones, but I just thought this picture was kind of funny. So the areas of high risk with these predators could force these penguins to have to relocate. So that's one danger that could arise with these predators. And then if there is an attack where a population is split up, then they will become more vulnerable with less numbers, and then it'll be easier for the predators to attack. Then looking at ecology, we're kind of looking at the positives and negatives within their environment as well as the populations around them. So penguins are carnivores, so they must impede on populations in order to be able to feed. And so the prey that they usually seek out is squid, krill, as well as other small fish. And so being able to feed off them allows them to get food, but then they are negatively impacting those populations of fish and squid and everything that they're eating. And one of the negative impacts that they have to face, like I said, is the climate change. And so this changing in environment will bring out like probably the most negative impact on these penguins. And this picture shows the penguins kind of moving up toward a new spot after the sea levels are rising. So once these sea levels rise, their normal habitat on a rocky beach is no longer a suitable place for them to stay. So this is one of the main things they face and why the population has been decreasing so much. And then looking at the Christian worldview, as Christians, we know that it is important to take care of populations at risk. And just some verses to look at. Proverbs 12:10 states that the righteous care for the needs of their animals, but the kindest acts of the wicked are cruel. And then Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. So basically, as Christians, when reading these verses, we should see that it is important for us to be able to see populations that need help and seek out ways to help them and bring them aid. And that's one of the reasons we're here. And people could see the Genesis 1:28 verse as being that we have dominion, so we can do whatever we want, and that's just not true. We have dominion and we have power, so we should be able to help those in need and do whatever is needed in order to bring these populations into better conditions. Then just a quick summary. As we know, the southern rockhopper penguins are a threatened species, not endangered, but this could change depending on how the future plays out with climate change. And this 35% decrease in population, as we know, is from climate change. So as as we keep moving on, we'll see how these populations increase or decrease. Hopefully, we can find ways to aid them. And like I said, as Christians, it's important to take action and to stop any harm on falling on these animals. So, then references.